Welcome back, everybody. It's Patty Ann, and we're going to begin with the cutting portion of our block of the week, block number 3. Again, this week we're doing the Old Maid's Puzzle, and if you give me your email address, either through my blog, PattyAnnesPlace.blog, or on Facebook, or on Instagram, I will send you a copy of this so that you can use it for your instructions. But let me tell you that the first thing that I need to cut according to these directions is a strip 3 1/8 inches wide of the blue and a strip 3 1/8 inches wide of the yellow. Okay, so I've already straightened my fabric. I know that the edges are nice and straight. So the thing that I'm going to do is just get my ruler, find the 3 1/8. Isn't that odd? 1/8. Well, the 3 1/8 inch mark. You know, I used to be a middle school teacher, and teaching fractions was always hard. I wish I had thought to have the kids make some quilts back then, because they could have made themselves something really nice and been learning fractions at the same time, and also measuring. Kids had a hard time with using rulers and measuring. Anyway, so 3 1/8. 1, 2, 3 1/8. There's one strip. And I'm thinking, oh, I must have a bad blade. Darn. I'm thinking I'll cut. Well, let's just wait, because the blocks are supposed to be 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. Now, I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it says to cut 10 of the blue, so let's just do that. So I'm going to subcut these now into 3 1/8 inch squares. So I'm making sure that the line down here is lined up, and it's lined up on the 1/8. Oops, those words are in the way. There we go. Okay, there's one. Two ringy dingies. And I need to make 8 of these, so I'll continue on doing these in the fast forward motion. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the yellow, but this time, according to the instructions, I just need to cut 6 patches that are 3 1/8 by 3 1/8. So I'll meet you back here when I'm done with these. Okay, these are the last of the 3 1/8 by 3 1/8 blocks that I need to cut for the yellow. So I have 10 blue cut, and I have 6 yellow. And now the next thing that I'm supposed to cut the blue 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, 4 of them. So let's get the blue back out. 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So get everything lined up. 2 3/4. Again, using those fractions and using a ruler. 1, 2 3/4. Okie doke. And I said I needed 4 of these. So here's 1, 2 3/4. If I was going to be cutting a whole slew of these, I might want to mark my ruler with a piece of masking tape so it's easy to see exactly where I need to be and I don't stand the chance of messing up. 1, 2, 3, 2 3/4. Again, lining up the line here and the 3/4 line there. Perfect. 1, 2, 2 more. The next thing that it says to do is the white patches, these white sections right here, and they're supposed to be 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. So I'll get my fabric and be right back. Okay, I'm back with my white fabric, and I've already pressed it and starched it, and I really like to starch my fabric before I cut it. And I use either the Mary Ellen's Best Press or the Niagara starch. I really like the scent of this one. What is it called? Original Fresh Linen Scent. I like it. Well, anyway, now I'm supposed to cut 2 patches that are 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. And then I'll be done cutting for our block. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what? 3/8. So 1, 2, 3/8. Of course, 4/8 would be a half, as you know. So 3/8 is that line right before the halfway mark. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3/8. Okay, and I need to cut 2 of these, so this should be fine, or more than enough. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's see, there's 5 1/2, so 5 3/8 is right there. So you can make sure that you did a square, because if you go like this and fold it in half, it should meet perfectly, and it does. I was a little afraid I didn't do the right measurement. All right, 5 3/8. So here's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 3/8 again. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, and again the halfway mark. 5 1/2 is just 1/8 too much if you're not sure about fractions. So 5 3/8. Okay, I'm all done cutting the blocks. We'll get together next and start stitching. Okay, to get ready to start stitching, recall that we cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the yellow triangles, or squares, I'm sorry, patches, and that's actually more than we need. We really only need 3 of these, because each one of these is going to be cut in half to make a half square triangle. So if we have 3, this one will make 2, 4, and 6. So I guess let's just do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 half square triangles. So we're going to take the blue then, it's the same size, just like we had done in last week's block. We're going to put the blue on top of the yellow. Now the yellow is a batik, so it doesn't have a right or a wrong side, but the blue is not, so it does. So we want right sides together, so the blue has to be face down to the yellow. I'm going to have the yellow on top. Take my little smaller ruler and draw a diagonal line from one corner to the other. Okay, and recall when I go to sew this, I'm going to sew 1/4 of an inch on this side and 1/4 of an inch on that side, and then I'm going to cut this down the center, and that'll make 2 half square triangles. So let me mark the rest of these and take them over to the machine, and I'll be back.